Good evening, and welcome to another vindictive version of Diatribes from the Voice of Doom. Now here's your vitriolic and virulent host, Voice of Doom. Hello. Okay, I had to get one in because I just saw the reaction and the little sound bites from the first debate between Orangey and Petri dish. I couldn't watch it in its entirety because I was at work. And when I went to my YouTube channel, there was very little that I could find, mostly from Sky News in Australia and other places, but YouTube by and large, sorry, I know they've been good to me by letting me have a platform, which they haven't promoted one little bit. But YouTube is part of that whole cabal of social media outlets that are basically on one side, and they don't not want to promote things if it doesn't bode well for their particular agenda, which is globalism and getting rid of 6 billion people and the elites basically having it very easy in the next few years because all us pesky proletarians are gone. And they can just live on their yachts and go from place to place and eat lobster. So YouTube didn't tell me much, but I did glean enough to tell you that Petri dish is over. He's done. And that's not to say that he won't be reelected. Don't take anything for granted. It's obvious from what I've seen on the debates that Petri dish was being his usual incoherent, babbling, senile, demented self that he's always been. He's been corrupt and a cheater and a liar all of his life, but now it's even worse because he's 81 and he's got Alzheimer's. And it's not the outset. He's in the throes of it. He's going more and more toward he won't be able to function. And everybody knows it. But I'm glad to see that Orangey followed my advice and he was very disciplined. And he listened and he didn't even roll his eyes. He didn't have to roll his eyes. He looked over while Petri was mumbling and bumbling and just is like, I have to respond to this? All right. It's ridiculous. He's asked about one subject and he talks about another. And he brings out the same old platitudes and canards. You're a convicted felon. You initiated an insurrection. You know, this and that and this and that. I'm surprised he didn't bring up the Russian collusion and all that other old crap that's already been, lambasted and proven to be a bunch of lies, which people still cling to. It's ridiculous. Now, what are they going to do? Okay, Petri dish could still win. Why? Because a majority of the electorate are retarded. Simple as that. We have a population in what used to be America of retards. And I don't want to put down retards, but I mean they don't have a brain. And they're just going to go and vote for D because they've always voted for D and Orangey bad and he's horrible and I got TDS. Whatever. Petri dish can still win. That's the sad part about it. You look at the polls. After today, After this debate, it'll still be, Orangey's up by 4 points. It's 52-48. Come on. The population of America is over. We're all dumb. We've all been dumbed down to the lowest common denominator, which is about the same level as an amoeba or a paramecia. So it doesn't matter. I mean, it's obvious that Petri dish was a total blowout, was as bad as it could get. The only thing that could have been worse is if he just collapsed face forward onto the podium and he'd have to be revived. That would be the icing on the cake, but they still vote for him. It doesn't matter. People better get it together and realize that it's so bad now as far as being biased, being partisan, that it doesn't matter what the person does. I don't care. Petri dish could set off a bunch of nuclear bombs in Manhattan. He could blow up every city in LA and they still vote for him. Doesn't matter. Because everyone's gone insane. So I can't do a very good analysis of the debate, and I don't want to. I saw that Orangey was disciplined, and I saw that he didn't have to do much to make a fool out of Petri dish. And I also noticed, by the way, that and this is only from snippets and snappets because I can't get the whole thing. I can't get much at all. They don't want to put this on the internet. But I saw that the CNN moderators weren't that biased as far as the questions they were asking or how they were asking them or whether they were interrupting. That's only from the first cursory glance. I haven't watched the whole thing. But I'll hand it to them, and I think it's a harbinger and a precursor and an omen that the establishment D's need Petri out. And it's beginning now. I looked at the commentary, and even the liberal left-wing absolute lunatics could not defend Petri dish. They tried to give him props for being able to handle standing up for 90 minutes and holding his own and coming back with vigor against Orangey on certain topics. But they couldn't do it. Even they couldn't do it. Carvel the snake, absolute reptile. Axelrod, the apparatchik, they're all saying the same thing. He's done. He's over. All the touts on the internet are saying he's over. And now it's just a matter of time before we have another debate and then a general election. Now we'll see how that goes. Will there be 2 mushroom clouds or 3 mushroom clouds before the general election? Will there be 4 or 5 pandemics between now and the election, which will necessitate the implementation of martial law so that Petri can remain in power in whatever capacity he's in power, so that the inevitable re-election of Orangey doesn't happen, because that would mean the end of the world, of course. Because Orangey was so incompetent the first time around that now that he's a lame duck, after winning the next election, he will destroy the world. Now, do I have to elaborate? I don't even have to make this a long one. I don't know enough about the debate to be able to go into the nooks and crannies of what was said. All I know is Petri dish is done. It's over for him. and they will probably still re-elect him, and then all hell's going to break loose. And if Orangey is elected, then all hell is going to break loose. So now everybody knows, across the board, right, left, middle, everybody knows we're done. There's going to be a major thing happening between now and November 5th. Pandemics, Nipah Hanipah, bird flu, Ebola, could be almost anything. It's going to be mushroom clouds, and the Middle East is going to erupt into flames beyond what it's already done. Hezbollah is going to jump into the fray. Israel's going to start attacking them. The entire Middle East is going to blow up. China's going to make a move on Taiwan. Russia's going to continue going into Ukraine until it's taken over all of Ukraine, and everything's going to blow up. So I don't have to say much there. It wasn't a long one. It was less than 12 minutes. But I had to get this out really quick from what I saw. And tomorrow I will watch the debate in its entirety where I can find it. And I will comment on more detail on how bad this demon we have, that is the commander-in-chief, that is my son's boss and my only living progeny left. The boss of him is in the throes of dementia and is absolutely insane. And I think the planet could blow up very quickly. And when I say blow up, I'm not using hyperbole, I'm not using an allegory, I'm not using a metaphor. I'm talking about all-out nuclear war and lots of bombs going off everywhere, and biological warfare and rampant crime and basically anarchy in all the cities. So we got a fun 4 months to look forward to. You watch what happens. By the time November 5th comes, there won't be any of this. That will be gone. We will be all at home, living off what food we have stored away and water, and hoping that the biker gangs don't come to our house and take our stuff. So that's that. I mean, that's the way it is. Everything I've said for the last 3.5 years is coming true. I'm sorry. And no news on the microcosm, so I'll catch you up on Max's case when things happen. But it's bad. I don't, Max and my wife are the lucky ones. They got off this planet early. So that's that, and I'll talk to you later. Goodbye.